Hey guys, it's Scott here and welcome to Leicester Till I Die TV, the place of all things Leicester City. Hopefully you do enjoy this weekly roundup today. If you do, make sure you hit the thumbs up. If you want to see my personal content, which is based around FIFA, my link will be in the description down below. And if you want to see more things to do with Leicester, not just weekly roundups, but looking at future games, doing match reviews and everything like that, then you can subscribe to the channel. Today, we're going to be looking back at a couple of things that happened in the last week, and then looking forward at things that are upcoming in the next few days. So, without further ado, let's just jump right in. So first things first, as much as I'd rather not, we have to talk a little bit about that Aston Villa result, where we obviously lost 1-0 due to a late Ross Barkley strike after a pretty poor performance from us. Now, as it stands, we do currently have massive injury problems. There's probably not another team in the Premier League, let alone probably the rest of the country, to be honest, that has such a massive spine of their team out injured. We currently have our main striker, main attacking mid, main defensive mid, main centre-back, ripped out, and then a right back as well. So massively sucks for us, and it means that we're having to field a starting 11 that we don't really want to, unfortunately. We did see the return of Slimani after, I think it was like 1,090 days or something close to that number since he last put on a shirt for us, which is pretty crazy. I feel like he could actually have a bit of use for us if we play to his strengths, which is whipping in crosses. I think we only found him with one cross. So there isn't much point in bringing him on if you're not then going to play to his strengths and instead play it into his feet. It doesn't really make much sense. Another substitution that we made in that game was taking off Mendy, who's actually been really good this season so far, filling in for Wolf, obviously after his injuries and having to play at centre-back, etc. He's been really good. We took him off for Hamza, and in my opinion, and it seems like quite a lot of people's opinions, he was kind of at fault for the goal. He was out of position for some reason on the halfway line when the ball was being put into our half, and then he didn't start his recovery run early enough. He left Barkley loads of space. He took a couple of touches and then banged it in. Take nothing away from the strike. Like, they probably deserved to win because we didn't really do anything, really, to be honest with you. Again, injury-ravaged side, but still, we didn't really do much. But it's a tough one to take because of how it ended up happening. Like, it felt like we were weathering the storm and we were going to be able to take a point away and think, okay, we got massive injury problems, we didn't play at our best, but we'd still take a draw. But then that sucker punch right at the end to take it away from us, disappointing, but again, I sadly kind of deserved, really, because of the way that we played. It would have been nice to see someone like Under come on and run at someone that is potentially on a yellow card. Same with Harvey Barnes. Matty Cash got booked early on, and then Barnes never seemed to really run at him for the rest of the game. Like, he got booked at about the 50th minute. You could have ran at him the whole of the second half and tried to get him sent off, or at least create chances because he's scared to tackle you. I don't know. But hey, there you go. That is sadly what happened there, and now we have pretty much confirmation that Kags is out for 3 months, or up to 3 months. It's going to be 2 to 3 months that he's out. So another massive injury for us. It would have been okay if it was a bit like Vardy, where he might play the next game or the one after, but up to 3 months is huge. In slightly better news, Ricky P is getting close to being back, 5 to 6 weeks, and then he should be able to play, which is good. He's basically back to fitness, but won't have full match fitness. That's going to be the problem. So again, in 5 to 6 weeks, he should be ready to be starting games and everything like that, which is good. So some slight positives. Evans looked like he was going to be injured for the game as well, but turns out that he wasn't, so that's okay. Fofana, though, is the guy that needs to get all the credit for that game. Debut for the club, debut in English football. Doesn't really speak any English, really. He was sort of talking with French to like the Belgian guys that know a little bit of it. And so he was amazing, right? Like, I don't know how many of you potentially paid to watch it or found other ways, but he was spectacular. In terms of a debut in the Prem for a centre-back, you can't ask for much better. He dominated Ollie Watkins in the air, basically won everything, looked very composed on the ball, two-footed, was spraying some passes forward, and again, just looked like he'd played here for years. So very, very excited to see more of Fofana going forward. And he is basically going to be filling in for Kags in the meantime whilst he's injured. And then when he's back, maybe Fofana and Kags, if he has set himself, like set his place in the team in stone over the next 2 to 3 months, you could see him and Kags together and we would have pace at the back, composure on the ball. Hey, that was the big positive to take from that game because he was exquisite. And he looks like a great buy, albeit based on one game in the Prem. But still, very, very good debut. Hoping that he can play in basically every game going forward because we want that confidence and composure at the back. So that's the main takeaway from the Villa game. We were unfortunate, but great debut by Fofana. And now we look forward to next week in Leicester City's footballing fixtures. So we have Arsenal at the weekend, and that's probably going to be a tough one. Again, we've still got big injuries. We're not playing the best football that we can, partially due to injuries as well. Arsenal are a bit hit and miss. You don't really know what you're going to get from them right now. Either they come out really strong and they look fantastic, or they look pretty flat. We've got to hope for the latter in our game against them, otherwise we're going to massively struggle. But if they come out firing, I am a bit worried. That game, I feel we put on the back burner because, as you're watching this, tomorrow night is the start of our European campaign and we are playing in the Europa League. So should be an absolute blast. In terms of predictions, it's hard to do so from teams that are from these different kind of countries. You don't really know what you're going to get. You should feel confident that, hey, you're an established Premier League team finishing high up in the table. You're going to do well against these teams from other countries. However, current injuries, current performances, it's up in the air right now. But you've got to hope that we start things off with an absolute bang and we can just get those 3 points to kick off our group, and that would be absolutely perfect for us. So we got to hope that tomorrow we bring out the big guns and everyone that was potentially slightly rested for the previous game in terms of like Maddison, maybe even Jamie, can play tomorrow. And we get that win, we get that confidence booster to potentially fly through our group. That is the dream scenario, of course, and then get onto the latter stages of the Europa League. It's one of those competitions where you never know what's going to happen, right? You absolutely never know. People could get knocked out of the Champions League, finish third in their group and come down, and it could be a monster team. Someone like PSG, after their loss to Man United, if they finish third because of Leipzig and Man U, they come into the Europa League. So there's crazy stuff inbound for the competition, but we got to hope that we just start things off strong with a good win, and then we just sort of build on that and progress from there. So I'm looking forward to it. I'd love to know your predictions for the game. Obviously, it's a very different kind of fixture to what we're used to, so it's harder to predict, but I'd still like to know if you are confident, whether you think that we are going to smash it and just sort of get on a roll. One thing that does interest me is Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall was in our Europa League squad, and he's now gone out on loan. So I wonder if we do have space to potentially bring in Slim. I don't know if that's allowed or not. Probably not. Maybe once you're out of the group stages, you can change a player or two. I have no idea how it works, but it kind of sucks that we've put someone in that squad taking up a space, and now they've been loaned out. So I wonder if we are going to be able to change that, because Slimani could be very, very useful in those kind of games where you need that physical presence up front, and he offers us something different. So I'm just super excited to watch us in Europe again. It's going to be fantastic. I hope you're excited. I know I am. But I think that is going to be it for the weekly roundup. Sad result the other day. Injury problems galore, but a lot to look forward to, and a very, very promising youngster now in the ranks with Fofana. Let me know your thoughts on everything to go on with Leicester right now, and I will see you guys next week for another update. See you then.